morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Emily. I work with the international students. I'm the coordinator of international student services. In case you haven't met any of the international students, we have around 54 here at MVCC right now from 23 different countries. And as you probably know, Utica also welcomes refugees, so we've got a very diverse group of people. I lived abroad in both high school and in college in Chile and in Brazil, and I'm really interested. In learning different languages, and I speak Spanish and Portuguese, a little bit of English, so I'm really interested in learning about languages and what unique things that they have in them. Oh, I'm going to dim the lights up here 1 second. So you can see better. So one thing that I think is really interesting about different languages, and English as well, is these phrases that we have that just can't be translated. Whether phrases or words or concepts that just don't communicate, like don't translate to another language. So I chose this image of like two people talking and it getting sort of mixed up in the middle. How many of you, by a raise of hands, have ever talked to someone and felt like you weren't understood? How many times was that because maybe they spoke a different language? How many times was it because maybe it was just an older person or a younger person and they didn't get exactly what you were saying? All right, cool. So it sounds like it looks like a lot of you guys have maybe lost something in translation before. So we're going to look specifically at idioms today, and then also on some different words that have come up in different languages. So, all right, so I hope that through this little workshop today, you'll learn phrases and idioms from different languages. You'll understand a little bit about how global languages affect English, and also understand some of the risks of translating directly from English to another language or another language back to English. So in case you don't know, an idiom is an expression that cannot be understood from the meaning of its separate words, but that has a separate meaning of its own. So maybe you understand the individual words of the phrase, but as a whole, it doesn't make sense. And it can't be used directly. Can't be translated directly. Oh, it's also something, it can also be defined as a form of expression particular to a group of people or a specific country. So the one that I used in the name of the workshop is "May your mustache grow like brushwood," which maybe nobody understands, but I'll try to explain it later. All right. Okay, so I just like this quote by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Words so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in the dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them. So basically that words by themselves maybe aren't very powerful, but how we use them and how we structure them in sentences can really be powerful for good or for evil, or for funny. All right, so first I wanted to look at a couple idioms that we use in English often, and how, if you think about them a little bit more, they really don't make any sense. So this top one up here, an image of "it's raining cats and dogs." So when someone says that, it means that it's raining heavily. And we don't obviously mean that there are animals falling from the sky. But I was looking into the origins of this bizarre phrase. And it actually, the first time it was recorded was in 1651 by a poet. And there's speculations as to why that phrase came about. but it might have been a medieval superstition or a Norse mythology. Or actually they were saying that it might reference dead animals that get washed down the street when it's flooding. So pretty sad. But yeah, so it's raining cats and dogs. Doesn't actually mean there's animals falling from the sky. The next one, this is from Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter. So when someone says that someone is mad as a hatter, it means that they're crazy. And that phrase comes from, the origins date back to when hat makers used mercury in the felt that they used for making the hats. And then the mercury affected their brains and they got crazy. So now we say mad as a hatter, and a lot of people don't even know the origins, but it just is picked up in speech and we use it all the time without thinking about it. But if you pause, you might think, oh, how does anyone understand what that means? This one down here, the idea of knowing the ropes. So someone might say, oh, like, you know the ropes, like, go get it. And that means just like knowing what's going on, understanding the concept, or having a particular skill. And that one has its origins in when sailing was popular, or well, it still is, but it's back to sailing and just knowing how to handle the ropes, to put up sails, or to operate the ship. And so basically, if you had those skills of doing the ships, then you were capable, and so now knowing the ropes is just understanding things and being skilled in something. All right. Does anyone have any phrases that they can think of, any idioms in English that they can think of that don't necessarily translate if you take apart the words? Do we have any volunteers to share an idiom that they might know?
Like break a leg?
Break a leg, yeah, totally. You don't actually want someone to break their legs, but it's a good luck in a theater thing, yeah.
Frog in the throat?
What is it?
Frog in the throat?
Frog in the throat, yeah, when you're like, that's how I'm feeling kind of now. I'm like nervous a little bit. Yeah, frog in the throat. This one I have right here, the idea of hitting the books. No one's actually hitting a book, but you know, it's the idea of studying. I don't actually know where that one came from. Yeah.
You want to slow the turtles?
Slow as a tortoise, yeah. I think that one can be almost literally done, but yeah, like the idea of kicking the bucket as a term for death also is an example of an idiom. Does anyone have any others that they can think of in English? Yeah.
Letting the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, letting the cat out of the bag, yeah. No one actually has a pet that they're letting out, or that they've trapped in a bag. All right, so as you can see, some of these don't really make sense directly, but they've become so much part of our language that we don't even think about it. All right, so this is just a little short, funny video that if idioms were actually real.
You ever hear people say, it's raining cats and dogs out here? Everybody knows that it ain't raining cats and dogs, it's raining rain. It's an idiom, a figure of speech. But what would happen if idioms were real? Quit being a backseat driver, Joe! But the car came this way, Bart!
He's not worth bending over backwards for. Why not? He's a total douchebag. Treats you like shit.
Why is he so mean?
He's a chip on his shoulder.
What you looking at?
Ooh, my mango. Oh, I'm gonna eat it later.
Don't even think about touching my mango! A deal's a deal, fool. I only take cold hard cash. You just have to ask, my son. That's cool. Damn, fool! This is fucking ice, I just put all my money in stocks. I would have put all my eggs in one basket. I think I'm gonna go hit the hay.
You think I'm gonna go eat this?
Look at what happened and said. Why you had to spill the beans for, huh? I'm sorry, Holmes. Another one bites the dust.
So how's the test?
It was long and hard.
That's what she said.
Get your head out of the gutter!
I can't.
I think Bart's pulling my leg.
I don't know. I think he's telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
There's no use crying over spilled milk.
I don't like that fool. He's always burning bridges.
Man, I really want to go, but I don't think my dad's gonna let me. He keeps bleeding down my neck. I am your father. You don't believe my dad? Shooting this kid was crazy. Burning bridges, spilling milk. It was a butt.
Alright, so as you can see, they don't always make sense, but we've become kind of used to them. Should I turn back on this? Okay. Alright, so another one that I thought was interesting in terms of phrases that people use. Can you still see the screen okay? Is that, alright. So when people sneeze in the U.S., what do you often say? Bless you. Yeah, or God bless you. Sometimes I've actually heard people say the German phrase, Gesundheit, yeah, which means good. I got the German in the room. Good health, which means good health. But I also thought it was interesting that a lot of cultures have different things that they say when they sneeze, when people sneeze. So the one that I named this workshop after, in Mongolia, when you sneeze, they say, God bless you, and may your mustache grow like brushwood. I'm assuming that's only directed towards men, but I thought that was an interesting phrase of sort of good luck or good health or growth. In France, with each sneeze that you do, there's, for the first one it says to your wishes, to the second one to your loves, and to the third one is that they last forever. And sometimes I think that there's places where they say like money, health, and friendship or something like that for each sneeze that you do. If you do more than 3 sneezes, I don't know what happens. There's in Zulu, in Africa, there's, when you sneeze, they'll say grow. So that word, which I'm not going to butcher, it translates into grow. So sort of similar to the concept of like good health, may you grow and feel better kind of thing. All right, so now I'd like to play a little bit of a game. Can I have 4 volunteers to come up to the front, please? I'm not going to go on unless I have 4 volunteers. Anyone?
Shirley, pick somebody.
Huh?
Shirley, just pick somebody.
Yeah, come on up. It's not hard. Yeah. Can I get 2 more? Saraka. Carlos. Yeah, come on up. I need 4 people.
Me? No, you. All right, Carlos.
All right, cool. 1 second, I gotta go to Okay, so, contestants, take your number. All right, so this is going to be sort of like Jeopardy, except my non-competitive version. Actually, you know what? If you guys can scooch so that you can see the screen, that'll be actually a lot better. maybe a little less pressure on you. Sort of like Jeopardy, whoever got first, if you can just choose a random square, points don't matter. You're all gonna get a prize at the end. So just choose a square that you want to start on, number 1. Who's got number 1? All right, so which square do you want to do?
Idiom part 2, 10.
Perfect. All right. So basically, it's gonna have an idiom up on the screen, and then you're gonna have 10 seconds to guess what you think it might mean. I might give you a little bit more than 10 seconds. It's fine. It's okay if you get it wrong. I'll tell you what the answer is. All right. All right. So to live like a maggot in bacon. What do you think it means?
Oh, you're just gonna eat a lot.
Eat a lot? Yeah, maybe. All right. Anyone else want to guess?
Living high on the hog.
Living high on the hog. What does that mean? What is
Living good.
living good? Yeah, that's close enough. Living luxuriously. Yeah, totally. All right. Okay. Who's got number 2?
I'll go idioms part 3 for $20,000.
Cool. All right. So the carrots are cooked.
Let's go.
Okay. So you think let's go? Does anyone else have a guess? No? All right. Let's see. So it's a French phrase. The carrots are cooked. Does anyone from the audience have a guess?
Yeah. It's over?
Yeah, Jim's up.
Over? All right, let's see. The situation can't be changed. So it's already in the cards. Is I guess the equivalent. All right, who's got number 3?
I'll go idioms 3 for 30.
Okay.
Tell little lies.
I don't remember what this one is. Okay, so Latvia.
Unknown.
Oh, it means to talk nonsense or to lie. All right. Number 4.
Idioms part 1%.
Okay. So let a frog out of your mouth. Finish this.
Maybe like a mistake or something. I don't know. Like you meant to.
Belch.
You burp? Yeah, maybe. I don't remember any of these. Oh, just say the wrong thing. Okay. All right, Zaka.
Part 1, 20.
Also a swan. Any other contestants have an idea?
Very delicate.
All right, let's see. Something that's impossible. Someone's from Apple. All right, Kyla. Oh, did you see it? It's something that's something that's impossible. Also this one. Croatia. All right, Carlos.
Go part 2 for 40.
40. Ooh. All right. Elephants stomp on your ear. Polish phrase. Huh?
Don't understand.
Don't understand. Anyone else have an idea? Did an elephant step on your ear?
Bad luck, maybe. Never bad.
Sounds mean.
Are you deaf?
It's you're getting them right. Yeah. No ear for music. So being tone deaf. Yeah. All right.
I'll go 3 for 40.
There's no cow on the ice. Swedish phrase.
So It's safe to skate on? I have no idea. Just safe.
Any other guesses? Safe to skate on.
You're on the right track.
All right, number 4.
Part 1 for 50.
Oh, this one, it blanked out boobs. So the hen sees the snake's feet, and the snake sees the hen's boobs.
See something that's not abused.
See something that's not there? That's a good guess. What do you? Any thoughts?
Seeing through somebody's lies.
Something, I don't know, something, yeah, I don't know.
You lost in translation?
I think all of these are lost in translation. Alright. It means two people know each other's secrets. Thailand. Alright. Saga.
Part 2, twins.
To emit smoke from 7 orifices. China. Oh, that's like all like from your ears, from your mouth, from your eyes, from your like all your.
Spicy.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, spicy. Maybe, yeah. Huh? Yeah. When you're mad, you're like real mad. Yeah, totally. I think that's. Is that the first one we got right? Very angry.
$20.
All right, Carlos.
I'll do 10.
To walk around in hot porridge. Sticky situation? Yeah, like it's. Okay, so this is like, so beat around the bush is like the American idiom version of it. So to delay or avoid talking about something that's hard. Alright. Down there, number 3.
I'll go 3 for 50.
3 for 50. Alright. To give someone pumpkins.
Compliment.
Compliment. Interesting. Very nice. The opposite. To reject someone. All right.
Nothing Holly, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Number 4.
2 for 50.
2 for 50. I see the sun on your back.
Like a positive thing like you're growing as a person. Maybe, I don't know.
Sounds plausible.
Trust someone?
Huh? Trust someone, you said? I actually really like this one. I think it's super sweet. Thank you for being you. I'm alive because of your help. Sun on your back. All right.
Part 2, 3.
Empurra com a barriga. Você já sabe. What did you say?
Fat.
Oh, when someone's fat. No.
Try and bully your way through something.
It's putting off something. Yeah. It's like postponing.
Yeah.
To keep postponing or delaying something. Your belly.
I'll do 30.
You're 30? Alright.
Oh.
That was nice. I like that you guys got the opposite ones.
You see the good things in bad situation?
What was it?
You see the good things in bad situation?
See the good things in bad situations? Sayaka, what is it?
Food over beautiful thing. Oh.
Did I get it wrong? That's just what the internet is. So to choose something more practical over decorative. So I feel like we have one in English that's similar to that. I forget what it is. All right. Last but not least, you both can sort of guess on this one. Noodles on your ears. Any thoughts from the audience? Hang noodles on your ears?
Like cut someone's ears off?
That's what it's cut someone's ears off? To fool someone.
Talk somebody's ear off?
Oh yeah, to fool someone. All right, contestants, I want to give you each a little prize for participating. Thank you. You're all winners in my world. All right, thank you guys. You can go for that. Oh, I forgot to. That's why you guys did so badly. I forgot to wish you good luck. Into the mouth of a wolf. So this one, the into the mouth of a wolf, is an Italian idiom of wishing good luck. So maybe that's why you didn't know any of them. All right. So these are some of the ones that I pulled from it just to look at again quickly. So maggot and bacon means that you're living luxuriously. Hang noodles on someone's ears. Does anyone remember what that one was? Hang noodles. Yeah, to fool someone. Great. Yeah, dumplings instead of flowers. The idea of choosing something practical over decorative. So sort of like the idea of function over form in English. The hen sees the snake's feet and the snake sees the hen's boobs is knowing each other's secrets. When two people know each other's secrets. It means, so the top one, it means something is impossible. Pushing it with your belly is the postponing until later. I mean, the one that we actually got right is to be angry, the Chinese one. To let a frog into your mouth is to say the wrong thing. So as you can see, there's a lot of different phrases that we just can't translate directly. So obviously these are normally written in the original language, and they translated it into English, and we still have no idea what it says. So that's the danger of directly translating. And I just like this one. Not my circus, not my monkey. The idea of like, it's not my problem. That I don't want to get involved in that. It's a little too crazy. Okay, so I also wanted to look at how much English is affected by different languages. So we obviously, the U.S. is a very diverse country, and our language takes things from different languages. Also, in different languages, English is also often used for different words. So I know in Brazil, they don't have a word for hot dog, so they just call it a hot dog. It's pronounced in a Portuguese accent of hot doggy, but it's still hot dog. And so probably you recognize some of these words. I hope that you recognize all these words. Kindergarten in German is put together as Kinder for children, and Garten is garden. So garden where children can run around, but in English we use it as like a nursery area. So these are some ones that I liked. Can anyone think of any words that we use in English that might be taken from another language? You guys are so quiet. There's gotta be some. I was thinking buffet is a French one. You know, where we eat out.
Cooking, there's probably 1,000.
Yeah, what?
Hotel.
What was that? What is it?
Hotel board. That's like the leader of the resident hospital residents.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts of of international words that we use in our everyday English?
No, Senate. Leader of the Senate is full temple word.
Okay.
So you have presidents, you got, yeah. And that's about
Let's go back to the cooking thing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of French words that we use, like julienne, where you cut things.
Right, and making like a roux or something
Right.
like that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, words also, I mean, there's like vegetables and fruits that we don't actually have in English, so yeah, totally. Any other thoughts? Like macho, machismo from Spanish.
Sure.
What is it? Sherbet, yeah. Sherbet, what?
Those Italian.
Says the internet. I don't speak German. All right. Okay. So one thing that I really love about different languages is the idea of communicating, talking about emotions, and that also that there are some words that just can't be translated one word to one word. So obviously, like arm, you can translate that into any language. There's a word for arm. But in Portuguese, one of my favorite words is saudade, or in some accents, saudade. And that's like the concept of it's so emotional. So it's a vague melancholy or nostalgia or feeling of missing that you get for something or someone. Sometimes it's for something that's never even happened. It's this sort of longing or want for something that you've never even known. Sometimes it's for a relative that passed away or a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. It's that feeling of longing and nostalgia for that person or that experience, or the idea of longing for someone that or something that was loved and lost. So obviously we don't have something like that in English. Nostalgia, I think, is the closest word, but it just doesn't give that strong feeling fully. Another word that I recently learned is the concept of leget, and that's from the Fugal tribe in the Philippines. This is a concept that's very hard. The podcast that I was listening to where I learned about this, it took him several years to fully understand the concept. It's a high voltage, a powerful energy that runs through your body when you experience something that's really angering or thrilling or exciting. This tribe actually describes it of the idea of wanting to sacrifice an animal or a person, which obviously in the U.S. we don't really, that's not an emotion that we necessarily feel. What was that?
An adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it's like an adrenaline rush that you don't even know what to do with that energy. So the idea of like that. Yeah, sorry, you're
I was just going to make a comment about the adrenaline rush.
Oh yeah, what are you? Oh, that it was adrenaline rush. Okay, yeah. But it's like you don't even know where to put that energy. Yeah, totally. And maybe you put it to something bad. So the person who was actually doing the podcast said that this happened when his wife died unexpectedly falling off a cliff. So he had this powerful surge of energy. All right. So this is the last idiom that I'm gonna go over with you guys. So I just wanted to say, remember, it's okay that if you don't understand the train station. So this is a phrase from German, which means it's okay if you don't understand a thing about what a person is saying. So I only understand the train station translates to being I don't understand a thing about what the person is saying. So sometimes you'll probably find talking to someone else from a different country, you might not understand what they're saying. They might not understand what you're saying, and that's okay. But maybe pause and think in your life when you're talking to someone else, what idioms are you using? What phrases might not be able to be translated into another language? So being aware of that when you're talking to other people. All right, and so here's a couple of resources that I used. If any of you, I'm not going to publish this this presentation anywhere, but if any of you want it, I can send it to you. My name is Emily Gifford, and you can email me on, it's just the normal format of emails that teachers or faculty have, faculty or staff have, so egifford@mvcc.edu. Does anyone have any questions? The game, I made the game. Yeah. I can share that link as well. Does anyone have any questions? Comments, concerns? Did you have a question back there?
No.
Okay, all right. Great, well, if you want to stay a little bit, have food. There's food over there. I'll take off the cover. Feel free to ask me questions if you don't feel like asking in front of everybody. One thing that I didn't mention, I have traveled to over 30 countries, lived in a couple of the places, so if you have any questions about that, idioms or any languages, I'm happy to try to answer them. Thank you all for coming. If you want DGB credit, don't forget to scan your ID before you go. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a good